It's this beautiful and uniform granny square. On this video, I'm going to teach you how to do the traditional square. I'm going to be using a 4mm hook and some acrylic yarn size 4. Okay, so we're going to start with a base ring. Once you've created your slip knot, we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to join into the first chain with a slip stitch. So for that, we're going to insert our hook to the very first chain that you made and then pull the yarn through all the way to make a slip knot, a slip stitch. And now we're going to move on to round 1. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This chain 5 counts as a double crochet and a chain 2. And now we're going to repeat the following combination 3 times. We're going to do 3 double crochets and a chain 2. We're going to work them into the center of the base ring that you made. So into this little hole here, we're going to work that combination. Let's do the first one. Yarn over, go into the center and do 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and then a chain 2. And so that's what you want. You want this 2 more times. So let's do it together. Yarn over into the center of the ring. We do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and a chain 2. Let's do it together again. Yarn over and then 3 double crochets into the center of the ring. And now a chain 2. So now as you can see, you've kind of created this square. We're going to stop there and now we're going to work 2 double crochets into the center. So just 2 double crochets. That's 1 and 2. And now basically we're just going to do a slip stitch into the third chain from the chain 5 that you started with. So we can count from bottom to top. 1, 2, 3. Into the third one there, we're going to do 8 slip stitch. That chain 3 is basically your double crochet of this group here. And you have 3 double crochets and then chain 2s in between them. So this here is the end of row 1. For row 2, we're going to bring ourselves to the corner of the square. So for that, you want to do a slip stitch into the chain space. Into there, 8 slip stitch. And now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this chain 5 counts as a double crochet and a chain 2. So now into the same chain space, into the same corner, we're going to work 3 double crochets. So into here, you work 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to start the row repeat. You're going to chain 1, skip these 3 double crochets that you've got on the side. And then into the corner, basically, we're going to do 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So I'll show you. Yarn over, find the corner, and around the chain space, we want 3 double crochets. And that's 2, and that's 3. Now a chain 2. And now into the same chain space, another 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And now basically we're going to do the same thing. So you're just going to do that repetition into the corners. You skip the sides, double crochets, find the next corner. Into that corner, we're going to do 3 double crochets. I'll show you this corner. A chain 2, and 3 double crochets. And that's 2. And this is 3. And so now basically you want to do this corner. I'll do this and I'll see you when I'm done that. Okay, so I've just come around the corner and I'm left with 3 stitches here. And then the space where you started the chain 5 to begin this row. So what we're going to do is into that chain space, we're going to work 2 double crochets. So we skip this side into the chain space, work 2 double crochets. That's 1 and 2. And now we want to slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the chain 5 that you started with. So if you count from bottom to top, 1, 2, 3, into that 3rd chain, a slip stitch, because that's going to be the double crochet that we need on this side. And this here is the end of row 2. For row 3, we're going to do a slip stitch into the next chain space to bring ourselves to the corner. Do a slip stitch there. And now we're going to chain 5, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 2. So that's 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to do 3 double crochets into the same chain space. So into this corner here, 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. And now we can start the row repeat. You're going to chain 1, skip 3 double crochets, and then do 3 double crochets into the next space. So into this space here, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to do a chain 1, skip these 3 double crochets, and then that brings you to the next corner, into which you want to do the combination of 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So we've chained 1, skip these 3. Now we're in a corner. You do 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 double crochets. That's basically going to bring your work around the corner onto the next side of the square. That's my chain 3 here. And now I'm on the next side. So we can go back to the beginning of the row repeat. I'm going to do this one with you again. So we chain 1, skip these 3 double crochets, and into the next space, into here, we're going to work 3 double crochets. So we do 1, 2, and 3. And now continuing the row repeat, we're going to chain 1, skip these 3 double crochets, and then that basically brings you to the corner. Into the corner, we're going to do 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, a chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. And that ends the row repeat. You can go back to the beginning of it by chaining 1, skipping 3, and then doing 3 double crochets into the space, chaining 1, skipping 3, and then the corner combination. So I'll do that and I'll see you when I'm done that. Okay, once you're at the final side here, you've done your corner combination. So we're going to start the row repeat again, but we're going to stop a little sooner. So you're going to chain 1 and then skip 3, do 3 double crochets into this space here. So that is 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. And now to finish off this side, we're going to find this corner. Into it, we're just going to do 2 double crochets. So that is 1 and 2. And now to close off this row, basically you just want to do that slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the chain 5 that you started with to close this off. And this here is the end of row 3. Now we move on to the final row, row 4. we're going to do a slip stitch into the next chain space. So into the corner, into this corner here, a slip stitch. And now we're going to chain 5, which again counts as a double crochet and a chain 2. So that's 5 here. Now into the same space, into the same corner, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to start the row repeat. We're going to chain 1, skip 3, and then do 3 double crochets into the next space. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And we want to do that again. We're going to chain 1, skip 3, and then into the next space, 3 double crochets. That is 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to chain 1, skip 3, and that brings us to our corner. So into the corner, we're going to do the corner combination that we've been doing this whole time. So after you've chained 1, skip 3, into the corner, we're going to work 3 double crochets. There we go. 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets into that corner to bring you to the other side. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And that brings us around the corner. And so essentially, I think you're starting to see the pattern that you got to do. You start with a chain 1, skip 3, 3 double crochets into the space. Chain 1, skip 3, 3 double crochets into the space, chain 1, and then that brings you to the corner. So let me do that with you one more time. What you want to remember is to do that chain 1 every time that you move to the next space. So we skip 3 and now 3 double crochets into the space. 1, 2, and 3. Now we again chain 1, skip 3 into the space, 3 double crochets. Now I want to chain 1, skip 3, and now we're at the corner, which means we got to do that combination of 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. Then a chain 2, 1 and 2, and then 3 double crochets into that same corner. That's 1, 2, and 3. And that's basically what you want to do. We can do this. I'm going to do this here, and then I'll meet you when I'm at this corner. You can see as well, I'm just going to do 4 rows. But basically, if you want to make this bigger, you just continue to repeat that around. You're just going to have more to go through on the sides, but it's the exact same combinations of chaining 1, skipping 3 double crochets for the sides. And then the corners are your 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So let me do this side and I'll see you when I'm at the corner. Okay, so I just did my corner here, and so I'm just going to finish up this side. We're going to chain 1 and then do the 3 double crochets into the spaces. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, skip 3, and then to the last space, 3 double crochets. And now basically we just want to finish off this corner. And for that, we're going to do our final chain 1, skip 3, and into this space, the 2 double crochets that you need. So 1 and 2. And then you want to slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the chain 5 that you started with. So 1, 2, 3 here. You do your slip stitch because remember that chain 3 counts as a double crochet. And now you finish off your corner. So now this is the size that you normally want for a traditional square, but again, you can continue to increase it or grow it if you want it to be bigger. So here we have it. How beautiful is this? Crazy. This is kind of as the name says, traditional. So this is a very common way of making a square, like a granny square. but it's really pleasant to look at because it's very uniform. For any of the squares, I highly recommend blocking them. I know it feels like you don't really want to do that, but it helps a lot with making sure that the edges of the square are straight. I have not blocked this one, but I have blocked in the past, and even though I didn't want to do it, it's pretty easy and fast, and it makes a big difference. So cool. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.